the most authentic,
and the most trusted station. Live in Nasulasu, Hinunangan Campus, Hinunangan, Southern Leyte.
Welcome to OVIC News Center. One vision, identity, and community.
It's 10:30 in the morning, bringing you the Eye on the News for Monday, November 21, 2022. I'm Jella Balili.
And I am Fritz Gloria,
your anchor for today's news. And for the headlines.
ASEAN Post-2015 Vision on Education adopted by the 8th ASEAN Ministers Meeting on Education.
ASEAN integration and its impact to education system in Malaysia.
ASEAN integration and its growth to Philippine education.
Thailand and its benefiting membership in ASEAN.
Singapore, as part of ASEAN integration, placed in top ranks of the world's brightest young people.
Indonesia has hosted a youth discussion forum increasing youth roles in ASEAN cooperation.
ASEAN Declaration on Strengthening Education for Out-of-School and Youth.
ASEAN supports global and regional commitments in education.
Creating space for higher education in ASEAN.
Stay tuned for the whole update right after the short break.
Nag-start gud may sa pandemic and nakabalik ra ko face-to-face pag grade 12 na, but all I can say is very effective and useful kayo.
The K-12 program enhances the students to become more knowledgeable and smart, and then when they come in college, they have more knowledge.
The 12 curriculum was still being processed, no? Sa Congress. I was actually against it in the sense that I saw our educational system as lacking still.
Curriculum sa K-12 is like giving students or allowing the students to enhance their skills and be able to work globally competitive. But in terms of financial aspect, as a student, dito na ito malikayan na magasto ta. Okay? We need this curso or program na we're able to work globally competitive, and it is called investment.
The K-12 program continues to demonstrate great resilience, flexibility, and innovation to meet students, school, and community needs during the COVID-19 pandemic and response. It is important to acknowledge the important roles of adults throughout the system in supporting students to process their COVID-19 experiences and build resiliency, skills, and knowledge that contribute to their overall well-being.
And we're back. ASEAN Post-2015 Vision on Education adopted by the 8th ASEAN Ministers Meeting on Education. Marinel Ragumas will give us the whole story.
ASEAN Post-2015 Vision on Education adopted by the 8th ASEAN Minister Meeting on Education on September 11, 2014. Number 1. The ASEAN education sector will continue to promote a community that puts people and its country as well as one with enhanced awareness of ASEAN. Number 2, it remains steadfast in its focus on sustainable development in the region. Number 2, it will give emphasis on access to quality inclusive education and development of lifelong learning through robust capacity building programs and provision of structural guidelines. This is Manel reporting back to the station.
Thank you, Marinel.
ASEAN integration and its impact to education system in Malaysia. Here's Marjorie for the update. Marge.
Integration and education. Education is the powerful transformative force in the lives of Asian peoples. Thus, inclusive and quality education is key to the sustainable development of the region. Quality education leads to better health outcomes, higher social capital, peaceful and gender equal societies, and decent work opportunities. It prepares Asians' human resources to be resilient, competitive, and ready to face and ever-changing future. Aside from being a powerful driver of social and economic development, education has the potential to raise Asian awareness and foster a regional identity. ASEAN supports global and regional commitments to education by promoting lifelong learning underpinned by the principles of equity, inclusion, and quality. Specific priorities include advancing future-ready education at basic and higher education levels and technical and vocational education and training, ensuring true partnerships with various key stakeholders. Education system in Malaysia. The primary system in Malaysia is divided into preschool education, primary education, secondary education, post-secondary education, and tertiary education. Preschool education. Children aged 4 years old can enter preschool in Malaysia. Preschool and kindergarten are often used interchangeably. Holistic approach to learning that focuses on your child's connectedness to the world. Multi-intelligence approach that celebrates the unique ways our little ones learn. Primary education. Only primary school education is compulsory in Malaysia, where multilingual public schools, private schools, and home educators coexist side by side. Following unregulated preschool education, a child enters primary school at age 7 for a period to 6 years. Following schooling in the community language of their choice, they must sit for their primary school achievement test in order to qualify to study further. Secondary education. This is no identified middle school period, although secondary is divided into two phases. Following the first 3 years of general education, students write for a lower certificate of education. Thereafter, they enter either the arts or the science stream according to personal choice and teacher advice for 2 years. Once in that stream 2, switching opportunities are limited. Following this latter period, they may complete 6th form or study for a further 2 years for matriculation exemption. Vocational education. The Department of Skills Development oversees the establishment and operation for all public and private training institutions. It has developed almost 1,000 standards for certificate, diploma, and advanced diploma training, and it is rolling more out in approximately 20 identified case areas. So the last one is the tertiary education. Malaysia education controversy continues to surround heavily subsidized Malaysia. Tertiary education because of tight quotas that protect the racial majority. Some progress has been made in the direction of a greater meritocracy growth. And in the interim, disadvantaged students have the opportunity of enrolling at public or foreign branches opportunities. The University of Malaya, which evolved from the Federated Malay State Government Medical School founded in 1905, is the oldest functioning tertiary institution in the country. Academic staff exceed 2,500 based at 3 campuses.
Thank you, Marjorie.
And now, Janet Palenis will report us about the ASEAN integration and its role to the Philippine education.
States, the Philippines is one of the founding fathers of Asia, together with Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, and Indonesia. And over the years, Philippines have faced opportunities and challenges to cope up with the integration. Now, the education sector is shouldering the biggest responsibility to meet the requirements of Asian integration. The pressure had pressed Philippines' educational system to strategic moves, including the institutional years of K-12 program, wherein additional years were added on the basic education curriculum. Curriculum and curriculum standards are being enhanced to meet the international norms and to strengthen the country's quality of education. Then, teachers are taking up further studies for new trends of instruction. New facilities are being built and the other school needs and concerns are being taken into consideration. Philippines truly have a long way to go to polish everything. But, despite of this, the education sector is clearly giving its best to achieve the desired outcome for the country's development. Back to you, Fritz.
Thank you, Janet.
And now, we're going to know the details of Thailand and its benefiting membership in ASEAN from Miss Sheila.
Education in Thailand has been developing since the founding of the country over 700 years ago, right to its welcoming of the 10-nation ASEAN community at the present time. Education in Thailand has a long history of development, with its origin developed from the influences of Buddhism. In the meantime, Thailand seems to be benefiting from its membership in ASEAN. The country is successful in tourism and growing well economically, yet its population still lacks sufficient English skills. The education sector still needs time and better management skills to be more competitive in ASEAN and globally. Despite being under military rule during this time, the government is still trying to encourage educational growth by allocating the highest budget for education and bringing in international universities to fill in the skills gap. The local educational institution cannot meet the higher demand, and Thailand is in need of sufficient numbers of specifically qualified teachers in each schools that are able to spend most of their time teaching and not overwhelmed with paperwork to support the common hope of improving Thailand's educational quality so that the country is globally competitive. This is Sheila Amak reporting.
Thank you so much, Sheila.
Arts. Have you heard about the Singapore as part of ASEAN integration plays in top ranks of world's brightest young people?
Better hear the latest from Marinel Lagrimas. Nell?
Yes, Jail. Singapore produces the world's brightest young people. Play tables consistently place Singapore in top ranks, higher than many advanced economies like Canada, Switzerland, or even Finland and some measures. For example, ranking published by the OECD in its program for International Student Survey, or PISA, have repeatedly placed Singapore in the top 5 highly ranked countries in educational outcomes. Within the subjects of math and science, Singapore was crowned as number 1 in the global rank of 2016 and has frequently outflanked fellow high-performing Asian nations like Japan and Taiwan. For those that are unaware, for PISA, it's ranking based on the test taken by 15 years old across the world, and it is considered to be the credible yardstick from which to rank each country's education system. In the academic realm, therefore, Singapore education system has proven to be a resounding success. Its flourishing economy and business attractiveness is similarly evident of a well-educated nation. Back to you, Jel.
Thank you, Marinel. And now, let us be informed of today's weather from Ati Zella. Zell?
Visayas will have rains as the interconvergence zone continues to affect the region. Pag-asa said, cloudy skies would like to moderate rain showers and thunderstorms over eastern Visayas, especially in Hinunangan. The rest of the country will have cloudy skies. This is Jella, your weather forecaster.
Thank you, Arizela.
Don't go away, because the OVIC will be right back.
Running through my mind all day. I'm a fucking shit in a cardboard box. Changing my number and changing the locks. When you can't get in, all your heart gon' stop. You make me cry a lot, boy, I'm that girl. Like something off a poster. That girl is a dime, they say.
Hold up, I ain't with that. Devil try to get his leg back. Wow. Pull up, spin back. Pull up, spin.
Dance like Shakira, smoke like Khalifa. Di ko malihi sa mga mata ko sa kanya mula pa kanina.
And we're back! Indonesia has hosted a youth discussion forum on increasing youth roles in ASEAN cooperation. Here's Vanessa for the update.
In 2015, the ASEAN Economic, or AEC, Agreement of ASEAN Economic Markets shall come into the force. This agreement not only affect the economic sector, but also other sectors. No exceptions for education as a capital to build competitive human resources. During the 5 decades of ASEAN, Indonesia has included its representative in education and training organized by ASEAN. One of them are the establishment of the ASEAN Study Center at 16 universities with the various cultural recognitions program. Particularly, Indonesia has hosted a youth discussions forum on increasing youth roles in ASEAN cooperation. The forum was attended by alumni of ASEAN youth exchange programs from various cities in Indonesia. The government should also pay more attention to the quality, distributions, and welfare of teachers of Indonesia, as teachers are one of the pillars to support the course of education and play an important role in creating students who are smart, skilled, righteous, and knowledgeable. So, the government should be able to make regulations to achieve quality education and can be reached by all levels of Indonesian city. Not only the government alone, but the role of Indonesian societies itself is also very helpful to realize the goals of education in Indonesia that complete globally. Thus, Indonesia is capable and ready to face every obstacle in facing economic community that has been going on since 2015. Back to you, Prit.
Thank you, Van. ASEAN declared on strengthening education for out-of-school and youth. Here's Zella Hadluken for the update.
The ASEAN Declaration Strengthening Education for Out-of-School Children and Youth was presented for official endorsement on 6 September during the ASEAN Summit in Vientiane, Lao PDR. The declaration was approved by ASEAN education ministers at a meeting in May. The declaration marks the first time a regional grouping has made a unified commitment to addressing the needs of out-of-school children, a group drawn from some of the region's most marginalized groups. These children face barriers to education that can include gender and racial discrimination, geographical distance, inadequate support for children with disabilities, school costs, languages, and emergency situations caused by conflict, natural disasters, state illness, and migration. This is Jella Hadlakon reporting back to the station.
Thank you, Zell.
Let us hear from Janet Palenas about creating space for higher education in ASEAN.
Creating space for higher education in ASEAN. Policy dialogues. On all relevant higher education issues at policy and operational levels, ASEAN qualifications, reference frameworks, and quality assurance. Developing systems and frameworks by sharing and augmenting experience through consultation. Mapping and study, visits to Europe, credit transfer system and student mobility with scholarships. Creating tools to support a common platform for online credit transfer. Then testing the new framework by providing 500 scholarships. Creating life-changing opportunities for students to become a global citizen.
Thank you, Janet. This is it.
This is it. ASEAN supports global and regional commitments in education. Here's Vanessa for the update.
Supports global and regional commitments in education by promoting lifelong learning underpinned by the principles of equity, inclusion, and quality. Specific priorities include advancing future with education, basic and higher education level, and technical and vocational education and training. Ensuring inclusive education, building the capacity of education personnel, mobilizing resources of education through partnership with various key stakeholders. Highlights of ASEAN work in education include supports for students and learning transitions to the workforce through internship opportunities, higher education scholarship and responsive skills development, supports for teachers and vocational trainers with the latest teaching methods and strategies, advocacy to reach out of school children and youth advocacy for safe and resilient schools.
Thank you, Vanessa. And that ends our 30-minute newscasting.
This is Fritz Gloria.
And this is Jalo Balili. Till tomorrow, only here on OVIC News Center.